the issues of Liberia hit the news.
What is it that we, the Liberian people, want?
The Liberian communities in the diasporas are not left out. That's why Diaspora's Talk is back on your screens on KMTV.
In fact, the United Party is not cohesive.
Be it social, political, economic, and other issues affecting Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
I did not expect to even make it to Hollywood.
Join Cyrus McGee and Nathan Charles every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on KMTV, Facebook, and YouTube.
I want to be arrested in the midst of my people.
As they discuss the issues, blending the voices from Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
The Liberian Business Association in the diaspora should be used as a vehicle for economic development in Liberia because no country can develop without a diaspora impact.
For sponsorship, call cell numbers 612-806-5896, 816-433-3979, or better still, email us at usakmtv@gmail.com. Diaspora Talk, from this house.
I'm calling on the Vice President of this country, Madam Chief Dr. Jewel Howard Taylor. District number 10 politics, don't get involved with it. I believe in dirty politics. You sat down in your house with Josephine David and decided to give her money to campaign against me. Now you're right. But when you get involved with dirty politics, I will drag you in the mud. I will have no regret whatsoever to drag you in the mud. I'm not a civilized politician. Let me tell you for something today. It's because you are very irresponsible, you are not educated, you do not know nothing. That's how I will treat you people. I respect you, mama, and you know you are power. Lord, keep it like that. When you cross the road, I will jump across the road. And when I jump across the road, you'll feel my bad side. I will have no regret, I will owe no regret to address you as a politician. When I address you as a politician, you will never get involved with politics again. Because I will go a dirty way that you will feel discouraged about. Don't get involved with district number 10 politics. I beg you, I want to say something, but I want to say it now. Do it again.
Because all the laws that prohibit acting crazy, we finna remove it all. Who can be representative and sit on the Senate, on the House floor and cost the president every day? Do you have a plan for District 10? Hey, when I'm doing it, I'm coming there. I'm going to see what happened there. The only thing I want to ask you is, over the 6 years that you have represented District 6, District 10, what have you brought to the table?
Welcome to a fresh edition of the program Diaspora Talk here on KMTV. Creative Minds Television. That's why we are here every day, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, bringing you this program, connecting the voices of the people in Liberia and those making news in the diaspora Liberian community. My name is Cyrus McGee. On this Friday's edition of the program is the 19th day of May, AD 2023. I'd like to say welcome. There are a lot of things unfolding in our country as we wind closely to the October 10th general and presidential elections. A lot of things going to be happening. A lot of leaders going to be shifting. Movers and shakers of our political landscape will be doing their own thing. The Liberian people will make the final decision on October 10th. I'm here on today's edition of the program with my colleague, Nathan Charles. Nathan, good afternoon and welcome to the Diaspora Talk, your own Diaspora Talk here on KMTV.
It's a pleasure to be back on the Diaspora Talk, looking at issues in Liberia, and we are here to digest, dilute the ongoing political, social, religious, and everything in Liberia and around the world. I'm happy to be here and keep tuned, share the show, and invite someone to listen.
And I tell you, we on today with our branded shites. This one says, I wish I could just put my computer down a little bit, and let me see let them see what mine is saying. As you can see, yeah, this is how my heart beats. With Liberia in the middle since 1847.
So your heart beating,
beating.
Would you
Yeah,
do bad thing? Or
it's beating Liberia already. And let me see what yours is saying. It's in your DNA, so it's in my DNA. So that's the country we from. No one can take that away from us, no matter what. If I would borrow the words of Senator Darius DeLong, he always says, "That's the only country I cannot be deported from." That's our homeland, Mama Liberia. But these shirts are on. They are going to be on sale very soon. They are on sale. Sorry, they are KMTV, branded. You can purchase these shirts, and you will be your whatever purchase you make will be able to support the work of KMTV at home and here in the diaspora. That is our team at home and here. Whatever you purchase, there are a couple of different designs coming up for the July 26th. You see that one there is one design. This is the hoodie that says it's in my DNA. You call it sweater. We call it hoodies here. There's another July 26th design right there on your screen. And this one says it's in my DNA, the t-shirt to it. And of course, the famous Liberia design jersey also will be out, is already out. But next week, people who already pre-order will start to receive them. And
it's
this
good
blue
to
one.
Start paying your money right now.
Yeah, so if you want to, the numbers below on the screen there strolling, you can call any of those numbers or you can message us, you can WhatsApp us. We will be able to tell you everywhere you are, anywhere you are across the US, we will be able to ship them out to you. That's how you can support what we do. It's like giving.
I love KMTV.
I love KMTV.
Put your money
to. I mean, where your mouth is in the Liberian parlance, we say. But
we want media to be independent.
Yeah, we want to.
This is survivability as
survivability to Larry Brooklyn. But Nathan, we brought the teaser there with Representative Yeke Koluba warning Vice President Joe Howard Taylor to stay off his district number 10, and you saw how they're responding, but we will come to that later. There are a couple of things happening in Liberia. I don't know whether you listened to Musa Belete yesterday evening, taking a shot at the folks from Spoon Talk, talking about they've set up a campaign, against his candidate, ABC. We will bring, an excerpt from what they were digesting and also bring Mr. Bellete's response. His first time going live last night. He says his first time going live on his page. But the major thing in our country, the biggest news that broke yesterday was this issue of the $100 million drug case. And the judge presiding over that case, Judge Blamo Dixon, right?
Yeah.
Controversial Blamo Dixon, handed down the jurors, I think, handed down a non-guilty verdict for those who were charged in connection with the $100 million, the biggest drug bust in our country. As you can see in the photograph, some of the defendants there leaving court, and you see the photograph of the drug that were confiscated. New Public Trust. Let's give you courtesy. New Public Trust. The photos courtesy of that newspaper in Liberia. But you see the continual number where the drugs were. Look at the picture of the drugs that were confiscated. And then these are some of the defendants leaving court after that non-guilty verdict. This is a big one indeed for Liberia, Dayton, especially the largest, largest amount of drug confiscated in our country with a non-guilty verdict.
Exactly. That's how we talk about handling evidence. How you go about handling your evidence and presenting your case. Something can even be black. You can catch this man having a blue pen in his hand. If you go in court, you cannot produce or convince the jurors. Definitely, your case will be dropped. The way government handled the case, the case they presented in front of the jurors did not see that enough evidence to
corroborating to
their stuff, because they said these guys were wrongly accused. Some of the counter witness to the government witness said the main people who doing this, government grabbed the people who did the wrong people. And looking at the processes, like a journalist who also testified in this case, Otelo Gabla from a newspaper in Liberia, he also gave some of the information that, hey, the way you guys handle the situation, you grabbed the wrong people. The system you have in place from the LRA giving autonomous or power to pre-shipment inspection overseas coming into Liberia, all of these loopholes. Criminals identify these loopholes. Okay, Cyrus in USA. Cyrus can send a container when he does pre-shipment in the USA and go straight to Liberia. A shipping company who just transporting the goods, we're not going to do pre-inspection because Cyrus have gotten his clearance from the LRA, from BVAC and other companies overseas. So there are a whole lot of loopholes. So with these evidence, the judge and the juror found them not guilty, and this is going to be a slap in the face of the government of Liberia.
And I know when I covered the judiciary before, that's where I started my journey as a reporter. We call it the desert lane. There were times that the government will run to court with cases. Like in this country, it would take time. Like the case involving Witherspoon, we understand it was being investigated for like a whole year, before they came down, because they have to have what they call prima facie. You have to have the right evidence, things that would tie people into it. But you just run and take people to court. What are those? I mean, people that you took now? It is like you prosecuted the wrong people. Yeah. The perpetrators of this particular crime, they are still out there. They are alive. They are using big money, and there were high profile lawyers representing these guys, including Councillor Michael Winkins Wright, who was former associate justice on the Supreme Court bench, is one of those that was representing these guys. So it is a slap in the face of our judiciary. I mean our government, the justice arms, because the prosecutors we have to go and present their case, and if you cannot back your case by the necessary evidence, it is what we have today. So I know it's going to be there's a possibility for an appeal. I mean, within the confines of the law, they can take appeals, but on the overall, just imagine what process mean is that the U.S. government had to give them lead to the discovery of this huge quantity of drug. And I don't know what those that were fronting, providing the leads would say about this.
Yes, so that's why I would say how you handle, how you run. It's not based on your sentiments or the sentiments from the public. We saw them displaying that cocaine burning the 100 million. It was a big news all around the world. People who are cramming down, our drug law is being, still under review. I think it has been passed and things like that, making drugs and stuff non-bailable. So with all of these stuff in place, and hey, we are heading for 100 million cocaine. That was something big, and now this is a situation. Indeed, we don't know what's happening with the juror. If there was no tampering with the jurors, because that's a big money case and stuff like that. So we need jurors with impeachable character. And so they came down with their ruling. It is what it is, and we hope that next time these things. This is not the first time government to losing high profile case, but this is this is not a fight against cocaine and drugs.
So that's it right there. I mean, the guys are going scot-free, provided if there is an appeal, but as it stands, the guys are going scot-free with charges dropped. They are not dropped, but they've been exonerated based on the verdict coming from the jurors who sat on that case. It's a huge one indeed, and still on Capitol Hills. Nathan, you saw that letter of warning. Days ago, we saw the group calling themselves the Legislative Staffers Association petitioning Senator, Jeremiah Kuhn, who's the running mate of Joseph Walker, alongside Senator Yombi Kanga Lawrence, Darius DeLone, and who else were in that program? James Barney. They all form part of the support for boycott, and staffers were there jubilating on the grounds of Capitol building. The main chambers, was it the main chambers that they all gather, where they presented their support for the boycott election, they supporting their bosses, and there came this letter. I don't know whether we can just put this letter on the screen, and there came this letter of warning for political gathering at that place.
From the security,
Yes,
from the director of security, Danishas Wisse, which came up on May 17th, just a day after the anti-government partisan, we call them, opposition gathered to welcome Senator Yomblin Kanka Lawrence and other to the Capitol building. It was, people throwing jabs at each other. We are go, we heard a famous song, we are go. And knowing that, the security director came up with a strong statement, Sarah. So,
yeah. So in the midst of that statement yesterday, those in support of the ruling government, because that place, one good thing about Capitol building is that everyone who's elected takes his or her staff was there. They are not people that is not a place where civil servants are.
I think they have a general administration, like
general administration, yeah,
and a leadership that is civil servant, but in terms of office
the
staff,
office staffs of those lawmakers are their people they take there. That's why after every election year, there are new faces based on whether there are new people elected or the same old people are brought back. You see,
after every election, there is looting going on.
Yeah, you will see that offices will be clear. Lawmakers that are outgoing, they have been on the records of looting their offices. The new ones come. The government will have to spend money to buy new materials for those offices, furnitures and other things for those offices. So it's been a play, and now staffers are pledging support to their bosses. That's where they get their daily bread, the people they work for. So it's like staffers against staffers. And from my understanding of this letter, the security chief is saying that we cannot continue to have this happening. People will go against people. It might go into a situation where people will insult people. It will degenerate into a confusion or fight on the grounds of the Capitol building. So they don't want that.
Yeah, I mean, like he said it is advisable to refrain. The letter says it's advisable to refrain from this practice on the grounds of the Capitol building to avoid confusion and better arguments that might eventually result to alteration and the breakdown of law and order. So that's what he wants to avoid, because when people are throwing jobs, and your candidate must go, this other person say the candidate is a wicked ticket, the other person saying it's this, is that, is corrupt, then now you turn everybody's arguing. People are now mentally or emotionally stable. They might join in the face fight.
It could be because everybody has a side to pick from. But just a day after this, because they were there on Tuesday, welcoming Senator Jeremiah Kuhn, Senator Yombli Kanga Lawrence, who were flanked by Senator Darius DeLong and James Barney. On Wednesday, you did talk about that. You played those excerpts, and now knowing the other sides were planning. They came out yesterday in spite of the letter. This was how.
So was it a disrespect to the director of security at the Liberal Senate, because he made mention of that thing another day after, and the security were there, and so
they saw what happened. But let me just play an excerpt of how it looked in that John Chambers of the legislature on yesterday. So as you could see there, that's how the John Chambers of the the legislature looked like yesterday. And that is where, when the president addressing the nation, that's where he stands, to address the country. And that's where members of the diplomatic corps and other people gather, to listen to the national address. That's where the legislature meet for John sections and all of that. It is at that point, it was used like that on Tuesday before, members of the opposition community, the lawmakers from the opposition. And yesterday, they did not just do that, but they did that, and they saw walking into that hall the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, Madam Jua Howard Taylor, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dr. Buffer Chambers, Akaras Gray, representative of Moserado County, Abu Kamara, representative of Moserado County. They were all there along with other lawmakers, embracing what these guys were doing. They made speeches at that place. So it's like, was it in violation or not in adherence to what the security chief had released? That is the big question. If these people are welcoming what's going on there, then we expect to see more coming up.
Indeed. So it clearly tell you that was a complete, again, it's both ways, because the security people, they sat down there, right? They allowed the grounds to be overshadowed by the opposition, who welcome the lawmakers. Again, you cannot stop that, because from outside, they welcome them in. So probably they realized that they're like, hey, we need to stop this.
But it has already happened.
It has already happened. So again, you have to give the other people a day to come up with a protest. We'll come up with their petition or something like that. So now is as to whether they did not see this or they did not know what was the state of the security apparatus to curtail that. But we don't want to see these kind of things. Again, that's a political field. So the security guy want to maintain his job, looking at a high profile. Again, like you mentioned, Drew Howard Taylor was in the gathering. Indeed, she has to be there, because hey, that's a political theater, that's a political alliance. And once you align with your people, you make them more happy, you make them feel more powerful. And so there was no doubt that except she was out of the country or had some other engagement, but that was a political relevance gathering to come and say, yes, we are the majority, we got to show you, but hey, we need to be very careful, because Liberia is all we have. And
even the deputy speaker was there. Members of the leadership of the House of Representatives, so it's like, if they could do it, and our people can do it too. And now this group is calling themselves the majority black of legislative staffers. Yeah. So by all indication, the ruling party is in majority, depending, with the way other people from other parties even line with them. It shows that they can get anything done on Capitol Hills and walk away. But we will bring you an excerpt of the statement, because there was an official presentation to Vice President Jua Howard Taylor by these guys, as they complained or talked about what happened on Tuesday by their colleagues who are said to be in the leadership of the legislative staff. For as you know, Samuel Brown is their leader, but now as it stands, there are people on different aisles talking about how they kind of like serve their bosses, because this is all about the political season, and you will have this happening. But we'll take an excerpt from the head of the purported majority black of the Legislative Staffers Association. Let's take this, and we will be right back.
We are throwing a challenge to the purported Legislative Staffers Association to tell us that Liberia has changed overnight. What was condemned yesterday, it should be condemnable today. Long live the government of the Republic of Liberia. Long live the President of the Republic of Liberia. Long live the staffers of the honorable legislature. Long live our bosses. Long live our mighty party. Long live, long live, long live. The Liberia has changed overnight. What was condemned yesterday, It should be condemnable today. Long live our Vice President, Aluta. Thank you.
You listen to the press statement being read by the.
So we could not get directly to the point there, but as you can see, they were in support of what their bosses are doing, pushing for their bosses' re-election, and their bosses did speak. Let me bring you the excerpts, beginning with the Speaker of the House, and then Vice President Joel Howard Taylor. They, on separate terms, took stab at the boycott team, the rescue mission. But you will listen for yourself what they think about the rescue mission. Those are some of the things that they feel that when you were there, you did not do it. Now you want to come back. Like the vice president, she took turn, at individuals who are in support of Joseph Boakai, including the former vice president himself, her former chief of staff, who's now Senator Darius DeLone, other members of that team, including Senator James Barney, whom is holding one end of the NPP, while the vice president is on the other hand. Now James Barney seems to be, or he appeared with Dillon and others in support of the boycott campaign. So we will bring you excerpts from their receiving of their petition. Let's start up with House Speaker Dr. Buffers Chambers.
So, the guilt will kill them. What they can do for themselves, others are doing for them. So they are themselves, I will call them amongst themselves and within themselves, we have and will witness in them, I will call auto-intoxication. They are poisoning themselves. If they know that it's always good to do the right thing, let them start to do those good things that would make Liberia better than what it is. Something that they have presided over for many years is what today they are saying others haven't done so. When I used to go to Maryland during the past regime, leaving Grand-Jide was a problem, meaning that Town City in Grand-Jide, just after Nimba County, it was where you have people spending something up to 1 month, especially during the time of Ebola. Now, interventions have been made. People from Nimba will People in Nimba will testify. People in Nimba will testify.
You have no record, you have no achievement, you have nothing to do that has, and when you send it up for county, that means you send it up for all the people. Most of the other senators in South Joseph will tell you how tough it is. They have maybe 2 million people under their control. Where is Senator Darius DeLone's record of what he has done over the 3 years to fix the problems that we have? And that's what he was elected for. If you didn't use 3 years to do something for your people, you're not coming today and say you want rescue. Who you rescuing? When you come on a rescue mission, you have to put a plan in place, which President we has implementing all over the country. We have to build a team. We have built a national team, not a Congress team. Be beyond Congress. And when you say to him, you will hear it all forget it here. You say him let somebody say he will still go support the person. Honorable Senator James Barney, the president put now here, but tell what the speaker here. I told them everything they never going to do. They say, oh, you won't, let's bring people on board. There's some people you can't bring on board. He has just proven all the things I've said. So me, I am justified today.
Yes.
Amanda! C'est quoi?
When you have a rescue mission, you must be able to take action. Look at all of the work President Leah is doing. in-laws also implementing the project that the people say they want. What did that girl say they wanted? They wanted roads, connection to each of the capital city. It's ongoing. They wanted new healthcare facilities, new education facilities, infrastructure that is being done all over the place. I went to the Southeast, electricity everywhere. I mean, to me, we gotta look at the reality. The president is involved. When something happening, you go there to see for yourself. You not wait for someone to say, they let this, they let that. And a rescue mission gotta get a mandate. Yes. President, we as rescue mission mandate is peace and freedom for our people. I've never seen that kind of freedom before. Me, our vice president, the first year, 2018, 20 blue sky. You have no record, you have no achievement, you have nothing to do that has, and when you stand up for county, that means you stand up for all the people. Most of our senators and South Joseph will tell you how tough it is. They have maybe 2 million people under their control. Where is Senator Darrell Stillon's record of what he has done over the 3 years to fix the problems that we have? And that's what he was elected for. If you didn't use 3 years to do something for your people, you're not coming today and saying you want rescue. Who are you rescuing? Anyway, when you come on a rescue mission, you have to put a plan in place, which president we has implementing all over the country. We have to build a team. We have built a national team, not a Congress team. It's beyond Congress. And when you say to him, you will hear, oh, forget it here. You say to another room, to another camp, to another market, improving the lives of our people. What is the record of improving the lives that the former vice president has? In the fact that Madam Salif gave him plenty of stuff that he had control over. He will tell you about the sector, education, healthcare, agriculture. Where's the impact across the country now? Yeah, I mean, to me, we gotta look at the reality. The president is involved. When something happening, you go there to see for yourself. You not wait for someone to say, they let this, they let that. And a rescue mission gotta get a mandate. Yes. President, we as rescue mission mandate is peace and freedom for our people. I've never seen that kind of freedom before. Me, our vice president, the first year, 2018, 2019, they cost me on one radio station for almost 1 year. I can't do nothing. Because all the laws that prohibit people from just acting crazy, we finna remove all. Who can be representative and sit on the Senate, on the House floor and cost the president every day? Do you have a plan for District 10? And you will not be able to be coming there. I'm going to see what happened there.
Come on, give it to him.
And Mr. Speaker, I'm going to be because you have press conference, you cannot be there. No one has to be involved. If I'm crazy to go to a district, you will see. And I cost, and you have been president before. What kind of cost it cost me? Now, I don't pay attention to this, I mean nothing. The only thing I want to ask you is, over the 6 years that you have represented District 6, District 10, what have you brought to the table? You must bring your record to the table. Here the scholarship are paying. Here the kids are doing. What are you talking about? That gas business?
And I tell you, Vice President Jewel Howard Taylor, there, you listen to them, and I think the key takeaway is taking shots at the former vice president. You heard her clearly. What did he do 12 years as vice president? There was some point there where she said that even he don't have a home in his hometown. His home is across the border, pointing to Sierra Leone, where, this has been rumor for some time now that Vice President Joseph Boakai got a home in Sierra Leone, but not even in Foya, where he hails from. And you heard it from her yesterday. Is getting to that point. I know the campaign is not yet open. Next reason to talk about officially open.
It's open,
but it's like campaign is ongoing.
Yeah. So just from the few days I've been following Vice President Joe Howard Taylor, she has taken out she has put on her boxing gloves. She started up with Emmanuel Nukwe on the situation with his supervision. As you know, it's one of the responsibility, the oversight, supervision, and other stuff. Now, but few things that bothers me. And I listened to her comment, and it just says that politicians are crafty. We cannot 100% trust them. And from the things she said, two things she said, doing what Joseph Boca did, and when he was vice president. So that's why we need to elect leaders who will help build up our people. Indeed, it is true that he was vice president for 12 years. We experienced all of these things: hardship, corruption, nepotism under that regime. Right, the issue of development was not really implemented. But hey, this is the government that is in power for almost 6 years now. What have they
ran on the mantra of a change for hope, or hope for change, something like that.
What have they done too? There are other flaws and lapses under this government, so the opposition too will look at it. So that's why I say politicians, we do not 100% trust them. And one thing I want to correct, she said during Madam Serif time, no lawmakers went in the Capitol building and insult the president. No, we saw Buffer Chambers. I know I covered Buffer Chambers several times. He was like towing President Serif flag. So it's like, why you do the other people?
I think she's talking about the invectives.
I want to say he Buffer Chambers. We heard people using women on the clothes. That was Caddy Junction. I covered that event. So it's like, why you do the other people do? They will tear around and do it to you, but we should not allow that, right? But this is a civilized. That's one of the corrections I wanted to make. But these things happen on the past regime, but we are progressing. What can we do now? Instead of you talking against these people, let's start preaching what you have done. The pace you have done, the roads you have connected, right? The hospitals you have advocated for. Again, it is not a senator or representative duty to do it, like we said, using the personal thing. What have they done in supporting the national budget? What money have they? She made mention of DeLong. What has been DeLong rule of not supporting the budget and stuff like that? But it's, instead of like, oh, I bill you, or school, I bill you, like other people said, that's not the function of the lawmakers' role. It is them to advocate for budget appropriation, right? For projects, like for example, she made mention of Nukwe, the hospital that got burned in Maigibi. Do you have money there? Or even when government build the hospital, but do you have money there to maintain that hospital, to provide other basic social services for the hospital, like furnitures and other stuff? Do you have money? And these are rhetorical questions we expect, but it's political time. We hear most of these things, and I tell all of my listeners, don't mind these politicians. They will say it. They will say it. But because they have to convince people on their side. But if you look at it, I tell you, we do not have a true politician in Liberia. Most of them are power agreed, are power seeking. They only talk because it is in their favor, or the side is sit. Even some of the supporters, they only say things because they want to, please their supporter. But again, politics is about interest, and don't be, like we said, sorry, last time with our audience, don't be carried away by these political comments, and you hate your brother, you hate your sister, you create enemyship, and you start exposing some private life, you and this person who have had a long relationship, only because maybe I have Tewon Gonglo or for Alexander Cummins, then I start hating my brother and sister. We keep preaching it on this platform. Do not be followed by the what?
It is don't be followed by the wind. It's just for a season. After October, we'll return to status quo. And then how will you look at a brother in the face? Some people, we see people go against each other. I mean, they're from the same stomach, and they go against each other so bitterly. And you have to be constructive. And one group of people or brothers I would give that up to is the Basikia brothers. They are twins from the same mother, same stomach, the same day. One of them was deputy minister under Madame Salif. He was a youth leader in the Unity Party, the one that is here right now, Race Basikia. And brother Civicus was on the other side. I can remember hosting the both of them on an interview. They fought politically, but they never burned the bridges bring their private lives out. They attack the issues based on what your candidate or who you support is doing, what that person is not doing. That's what they were doing, discussing the issues and telling the Liberian people why they think the group they support is the best. And I can say for the fact, if you follow those brothers, those are guys that people can take from after elections. They were over with. returned. They were still there telling, yeah, why I think I supported this person. But it is getting super hot. And she stated in that with a strong response to her co-district mayor, Representative Yeke Kolba. They both of them from District 10. They live in District 10.
Yeah,
She said, she lives across on that end. He's on the Oro end. So you listen to her response to Representative Kolba. I'm sure he will fire back, and it's gonna get dirty like I see.
Hey, politically, but not physically. Again, who do you expect for Joe Howard Taylor to support? Hey, come on, man. This politics. She have to support because this is the second term. The mandate is to win election at all costs. So they have to use every avenue, positive avenue now, because every cost,
not just every possible
one, possible avenue to see how they can defeat. And guess what? The horse is about numbers. If I can kick out Yeke Koluba, I can get more things done, right? I can bring up my partisan who will support my idea, because once you are a partisan, you go on the ticket of that, you also help support your standard bearer laws and legislation they put forth in. So indeed, it's about interest, but the interest should not be personal, but rather about our country, Liberia. How can we develop? But election, we hear more of these things. President, we had to, he already started a long time.
Yeah, he already started. He's good at. I've not listened to the two sermons for a long time.
you missing out something.
I've not listened to the two sermons. I sometimes listen to Prince Johnson early Sunday morning, while getting ready for service. But then his sermon is out over. And then I flip over to Gbekugbe, because that's where they use to kind of like hit at each other politically. They use the pulpit. Prince Johnson will preach. He will leave the entire thing, or sometimes link his team to what's happening in Liberia. President we are, on the other hand, observe what's happening in the country. All of these little talks that people say the president cannot hold press conference. He cannot call the media, and take.
He have never done that.
Yeah,
and that's the only president we have seen who have not done that. Interact with the media. You can deviate.
And the only time you see him is when he returned to the country.
Even his
take those questions, and most of them they are put. We gotta go, but sit down, interview, tete-a-tete. Yeah, and that is on the record. He has not done that yet as president. We hope and we look to see, but he used the pulpit most often to respond to issues happening in the country and how he feels as a president. So we're going to see more of them. We will take this very quick break with our sponsor, the Park Liquor Outlet.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. It's a working weekend. If you're out there, you have to visit the Park Liquor Outlet. It continues. If you're having a party or around here in Minnesota, that's where you have to go and support, your Liberian brother, the Jackson George and the rest of the guys there. Emmanuel Bro, formerly of Star Radio, says, "Good afternoon, guys. As always, I'm watching from Minneapolis, Minnesota, the USA. Emmanuel, good to have you always following us." And some of our callers be saying, how can I join the program? They just, sometimes they just want to come out. Sometimes we see the comments, but we so much be into the discussion. So I just paste the link on the live stream there. If you have a comment you want to make, you want to come over us, click the link. We will probably give you a minute or two, to speak out. We will be doing this as often as we can, because it is the time that everyone will have to have their views. Yeah. But as you have your views, we expect it to be constructive. If you want to come up, we can give you the opportunity, but we expect it to be constructive. We are not like other platforms where people come with falsehood. We want you to come and speak reality or speak your minds freely, but constructively. Let's take this quick break. When we come back, I know somebody was trying to come in, just came on and went off. Don't be afraid. We will take you if you make it through to get on here with us. Let's take this quick break with the Park Liquor Outlet. When we come back, we will bring you this war of wars between. It's getting to be a war of wars between Musa Hassan Belati and folks there on the Spoon Talk, Eugene Fagon and Stanton Witherspoon. They are on the back of the CP candidate, Mr. Cummings, and Belati is not sitting back. He also won his boxing gloves, and there are a couple of shots that he's been throwing last night. We will bring you SF once we are back. Don't go away.
Let your celebration begin with Park Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or bride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Park Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Park Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kent. Welcome to Brooklyn Chiropractic. Come to Brooklyn Chiropractic if you're having any back or neck pain. Especially, we specialize in treating people in auto and work-related injuries. We've been established here in Brooklyn Center for the last 14 years. And one of the pleasures that I have is helping out in the community. We've sponsored a lot of events throughout the years in the community. And we really appreciate being a part of the community. So if you're experiencing any pain, give us a try. If you want a drug-free way to get better. Thank you.
And I say thanks to Park Liquor Outlet and the Brooklyn Chiropractic there on Brooklyn Boulevard here in Minnesota for sponsoring or being with the Diaspora Talk. So you business owners out there, let us know how best we can promote what you do. That is, we have affordable rates for the promotion, whether it is for your goods or services that you offer. Just start right by here at 5609 Brooklyn Boulevard, Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, Suite 206. KMTV is right here within the Twin Cities. And also joining the fray with promoting what we do, looking at sponsoring what we do is the Mama T's, African Kitchen. Mama T's African Kitchen is there in Brooklyn Park as well. You can stop by there if you are visiting the Twin Cities and looking for, somewhere to eat the real African meals, whether the Liberian one, the Nigerian, Ghanaian, different food they have on their menu. Mama T's can do that for you. I was there the other day with Nita. We had a great lunch over there, and it was really, really wonderful. We have to support indeed what we have in our community. Instead of me going to somewhere else, I'd rather go to Mama T's and get something to eat, promoting what they do in our community. So do that. And those of you, we told you in the opening, we have these shirts you see us wearing. This one says, "It's in my DNA." What's in your DNA, Nita?
Liberia.
Mama Liberia is in my DNA. And we have this
case to be proud. I work, I'm like this walking. I always open my arm.
Like what?
Which country flies that?
Like Liberia?
Yeah.
So
wow.
We have those designs. They are out for sale right now. You can hit us up on any of our numbers you see below. This is the hoodie to it. It's in my DNA. It's a hoodie. Somebody wore this to work. It was a huge commendation. We have a couple of other things coming up. The Liberian shites for the July 26th. They are already getting on sale. There's another design right here. And also the Liberian jersey designed by KMTV, Team KMTV. Designed this is in blue and white as well as in red and white. We're also doing name branding on them. You want your name and your number on the back, we can do that for you right here as well. And everything you do sponsorship will go toward what KMTV is doing to keep our team up. And we will appreciate you. Stop right by or call us, hit us up. Our numbers are there. Send us a message. The Cash App number, I can just lay my hand on that right now, should I?
But
it should be on the
money sign,
the dollar sign, USAKMTV. I think I can get it somewhere here.
Yeah, it should
yeah, it's right here. If you want to support, that's where you can, send your funds to support what we're doing. Help this network. to keep doing what we do here, and every cent you give will be a help to keeping KMTV up. So Creative Minds,
you're saying media must be
it
independent.
must be independent. You have to support what we do. So US $ USA KMTV is our cash app. You can do whatever you may to support the work of what we're doing here. So we come back to the show, and we're almost out of time. But this war of wars between Stanton Witherspoon is getting to be heated, and Musa Hassan Belete will touch on this a little bit because we're almost out of time. Nathan, let's listen to an excerpt from the recent one of the recent edition of Spoon Talk, where they were linking the ANC or CPP team, Belity and Charlene Bronskin, to that of the IB Bank in Liberia, where they were on the bulls and other things. Let's listen to this story a little bit.
Yeah. Because let me ask you a question. You brought something on Mr. Combs. Now we have the chance. Let's talk. Yesterday, you brought something on Mr. Combs, and I never got an assignment like I had today. I began to research. Correct me if I'm wrong. And let me just put this up. The board members for the bank, right? The board members for the International Bank, this bank, International Bank Liberia Limited. International Bank Liberia Limited has been providing quality banking services to all the sweet talk. This bank replaced the RTC bank that we were picking in. RTC. Our papa used to care to that bank. And Liberia, you need to hear this because I want whole Yeke Koluba. I want squeeze, not Yeke, I want squeeze Fagon tonight. Fagon.
Yeah.
You said Mr. Cummings is or was or a board member. I researched today. To my surprise, I didn't see Mr. Cummings, but I saw Charlene Bronskin. Charlene M. Bronskin, director, board on the board recently. She's one of the board. No, let me finish.
No, I said was a board member.
But let me finish. Yeah, but you have your term. That's why I say was or is.
Now this is the current board member you are looking at.
Fagon, you will let me finish. I said was and I said or is. I was very, very straight up because this is important for Liberians to know. I want you now to tell us when Charlene came in, when Mr. Cummings got out, and where are we currently with this kind of transaction that we are seeing Charlene as a board member for this bank? And all the information will be coming for the Honorable Minister Eugene Lamin Fagon. Let's have this conversation. And I'm also saying that I think we
don't ever challenge me. I stay up from 11 o'clock straight down to 5:30 before I close my eyes. And then I show him where, when he was for Chevron, which was brought in by the PAC group, that is the Pan-African Capital Group, that purchased this bank and purchased the West African Insurance Company and did a lot of other investments, including Buchanan Renewables. I send you all those things today. I send you the one from Fox News. I sent you the one from Bloomberg. So I'm not dealing with low-cost media.
Yeah, some of the shareholders to that Fagon and Spoon were on that, and this has claimed the attention of Mr. Musa Hassan Belete. Belete is the chairman of the CPP. For the first time last night, Belete went live on his official page to respond to this, and his words were clear that the CPP, which he's chairing, will make sure they go after Fagon. and Stanton Witherspoon for what he termed as their attempt to continue to attack their political leader, Mr. Cummings. And he was clear about that. Let's see whether we can play this. We're almost out of time, but we'll take a stab at it a little bit.
To announce our BSB. We will take measures, specific measures, to deal with Fagon and to deal with Stanton. You know, I feel sorry for you where you are, the space that you occupy. You should be worried. You should be worried about where you are. It is your sense of narcissism that still keeps you over there thinking that while you are on your way down, you're going to bring as many people down as possible. You lie that I took $3 million to Charlene and threatened her that if she didn't accept. Are you kidding me? Do you know Charlene? You don't know yourself. You get on your network, you speak part of broken English, and the people around you are not telling you that you don't speak good English. You speak part of rubbish. Of course, Eugene Fagon, I don't even think that he has ears to listen. Because at the end of the day, he just speaks from on top of his head. He lies. He's incoherent. He jumped from one place. I spent 5 minutes on the phone trying to make this man to understand what presumptive means. He couldn't. Those are the people that the Unity Party has entrusted with defending it. Now, that's a disgrace. That's not acceptable. But we know your plan. And we're ready for you. The network of Spoon has decided and dedicated itself to attacking our candidate, ABC. Oh no, we will fight you. We will fight you with everything we have. And not only that, we'll report you to the US government. You are not in the place to be able to speak. You've caused problem already in America. America is trying to deal with that. America should not allow you to cause problem in this country. You're not a free man. You have taken away your own freedom. And therefore, you cannot benefit from the right to express yourself. You've lost that. You should not be you should not be on the network spewing lies and rubbish on people. You should be worried about the fact that you will go to jail. I mean, just a few days ago, 5 more persons among the people that were indicted have pled guilty. You are going to jail.
Musa Hassan Belete, he's the chair of the Collaborating Political Parties, the CPP, there speaking in reaction to Eugene Fagon, former Deputy Minister of Information, and Stanton Witherspoon, former CEO of the Spoon Network. Nathan, you listen to him. There are a lot of things interplaying, and like you always say, politicians will always be politicians, right? When I listened to Mr. Belete last night, I'm like, when did you get to realize all of what you're saying? Just 2 weeks or less ago, you were on the very platform, talking about the convention of the CPP and what, is going to bring. When did you get to know all of these about the network? When after his indictment, you were still appearing on the Spoon Talk with Witherspoon and others. Like you always say, politicians will always be politicians. Now the table has turned.
And And like I mean, it's just I'm not moved by when they speak. I look at the substance. I think Benedict, he went too low. He should have dealt with the issue and not attacking personality. He as a party chairman, if somebody attack Mr. Coleman, you need to discuss the issue, not the person life. Benedict too, all of the deals he went through when the cold case was dropped and all kinds of things from FIFA. So this is the same man talking to somebody who's being accused and stuff like that. So that's a tactic. It's like they are fighting, but let's look at the issue, not the person.
It should be issue driven.
It should be issue. Everybody get their daily covers and stuff like that, but what's going to concern the entire population? What has Stanton situation in the US got to do with our people in Liberia, or the decision of our people in Liberia? Right? It got to do with the US government, not the people decision in Liberia. Again, if his right is being curtailed, as you claim, the US government should decide right official communication. But let's look at the issue. We're talking about corruption, bad governance campaign. It's not real in Liberia. Was your party, a candidate of your party involved into such thing, right? On the board of this and double dipping. What have they done?
Do you think there's something that Mr. Cummings should now be officially addressing? Especially he's ahead of a ticket going into elections. These are things that will come up on the campaign.
Yes, so I mean, probably they're going to look at all of these things, how to address it. It was just said 1 or 2 days ago, our politicians are not too armed enough to come up with, so they got to take the time to make research. So indeed, politics is in. Let us refrain from attacking people's personal life. Let's look at the issue in Liberia. What can this person bring to the table? And I know most people, even the Spoon people, say that hey, they're fighting to shut them down because it's campaign time. People don't want you to talk negative against them. Just when somebody block you, you got your private Facebook page, people will block you. And knowing the power of the Spoon network and the influence in the Liberian society too, it might be help on their side. So hey, you got to put on your fight. If you think it's like, I put on my fight, you put on your fight, and the audience will judge. So indeed, let's discuss the issue. And I'm not moved. I just listen to the comments,
listen to them, and know what
is this ability who saying somebody is criminal, should not be talking. Really? Okay, you are the wrong messenger. That's what I can see.
On this note, we'd like to wrap it up on today's edition of the program, Diaspora Talk. We are back here on Monday with a fresh edition. Join us. Thanks for being there. Thanks for watching wherever you are, whether you watch us on the KMTV app or from your smartphone on Facebook or YouTube. We'd like to say thanks. And as you know, we have to do all we can to protect the peace we have. Liberia is all we have. And if Liberia must succeed, we must protect the peace of our country. And I don't know whether you have any words for our people, Nathan, as we wrap it up on this edition of the program.
Just to say, let us be very careful in things we do. Let us not use this election time of our personal attachment to any politician to divide us. And our politician too, we need to ensure that peace and stability is our foremost priority in Liberia. Hey, you may lose that election. Your life will not be dangling. Your people will suffer for, according to you, for 4, 5, or 6 years. You may come back again. They say the person who fight escape always live long.
Live for another fight. I don't know.
Somebody's asking how can they get one of the t-shirts? It's not free, so we'll put our cash app up and
just call us on any of the numbers you see there. We will tell you how you can get it. Just call us after the show. We will tell you how you can get it. But just before we leave, I'd like to say happy birthday to my daughter. Angelina turns 14 today. There she is, our superstar. She's a dancer or ballerina by profession, and good thing that she's gone to like 6 awards this year. The least she could bring home was 1 second place. Everything were first place, and she's going to Las Vegas next month as well. No, July, the 1st of July to the 10th for her national. Indeed, I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful one. So congratulations to you, Angelina. Keep going. She'll soon be a 9th grader as well.
I can think if she get booing her body.
Yeah, so she's doing that to her very best. You can follow her on Facebook. Facebook, on her Instagram, Angelina Dance Angel. That's why she's called on her social media pages. But today she's celebrating. I like to wish you well, girl. Enjoy yourself and keep going. But until Monday, when we are here with a new edition of Diaspora Talk, Liberia first, Liberia last. Let's keep the peace. Let's do all we can. Do our politics, but constructively and in the interest of our country. That after everything is over, we can still see each other as brothers and sisters. So hit us up if you need these shites. They are out for sale already. Call the numbers you see on your screen, 612-8065-896 and
816. You say and 816-433-979. We already got some orders from Utah,
from Utah and other areas. Yeah,
people are putting in the order. You had to put in your order because we don't want live into the time. Then you're calling. Oh no. This is America. We do this systematically. And if you waste time, you will not get.
And Emmanuel Bro just gave the exact quotation here. It says, "He who fights and runs away lives to fight another day." Yes, thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you so much, Martin. Just hit us up on the numbers you see on the screen, and one of those numbers respond to you to tell you the price. That you can pay for the shirts. The jerseys are also up. That we can brand them as well and ship them out to you anywhere across.
Let your kids know that hey, you're from Liberia, because we need to start educating our children on stuff. And don't forget, the organization of Liberian in Minnesota is having that mental health awareness this
Sunday. So be there if you can. But until then, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful time. Park Liquor Store and the Brooklyn Car Patrick will take us home.
Let your celebration begin with Park Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or ride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Park Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Park Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kent. Welcome to Brooklyn Chiropractic. Come to Brooklyn Chiropractic if you're having any back or neck pain. Especially, we specialize in treating people in auto and work-related injuries. We've been established here in Brooklyn Center for the last 14 years. And one of the pleasures that I have is helping out in the community. We've sponsored a lot of events throughout the years in the community, and we really appreciate being a part of the community. So if you're experiencing any pain, give us a try. If you want a drug-free way to get better. Thank you.
When the issues of Liberia hit the news,
What is it that we, the Liberian people, want?
the Liberian communities in the diasporas are not left out. That's why Diaspora's Talk is back on your screens on KMTV.
In fact, the United Party is not cohesive.
Be it social, political, economic, and other issues affecting Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
I did not expect to even make it to Hollywood.
Join Cyrus McGee and Nathan Charles every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on KMTV, Facebook, and YouTube.
I want to be arrested in the midst of my people.
As they discuss the issues, blending the voices from Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
The Liberian Business Association in the Diaspora should be used as a vehicle for economic development in Liberia because no country can develop without a diaspora impact.
For sponsorship, call some numbers 612-8065-896, 816-433-3979, or better still, email us at usakmtv@gmail.com. Diaspora Talk. Don't miss out.